Hello all, welcome to my YouTube channel and welcome to my training on performance testing and engineering. So in this session, I'm going to explain about my JMeter 5.3 certification program. All right. So before kicking off the session, so let me show you. This is my performance testing and engineering live training, and here are our contact numbers and email IDs, and this is my YouTube channel. All right, so let me show you my my YouTube channel as well. So if you search with performance testing real time training, so if you want to visit our channel at later point of time, you can search with performance testing real time training, and you land upon this, and this is my channel which is showing my contact number. All right. Now, so let me, proceed with the JMeter demo session, right? So, we are, by the way, we are starting a new batch on 25th July. So, right, and before, starting the session, so let me show you my Facebook group as well. So here is my Facebook page, right? So once you, here is my Facebook page, right? All right. So once you visit my page, and these are my Facebook groups, please join our Facebook groups. Wait a second, please. So these are my Facebook groups: Loaderner Professional 2020 certification and JMeter certification and performance testing and engineering real-time training. So please join my Facebook groups, and AppLabs IT Training Solutions. This is another Facebook group. All right. So I'm going to explain about this JMeter certification training. So with the latest version of JMeter 5.3. All right. So as you can see here, right. So these are the course contents for JMeter 5.3. So this certification training. All right. So and this is page 2 of 2, of course. And just a preface before my my starting my session. So I would like to thank everyone who is part of my performance testing and engineering journey. All right. So this is my this is the agenda for this session. All right. So I'm going to give you my trainer introduction. So unique features of my training plan, and what is performance testing and types of performance testing at a high level, and why JMeter, and JMeter Pro certification with JMeter 5.3 version, and who are the ideal participants, and what are the career prospects and compensation details in service-based companies and product-based companies, and what are the digital channels we are leveraging for training, and course contents for beginner and advanced level participants. And I'm going to show you like scripting scenarios to cover in the training, right? And one demo script which I will be doing that in the next session, because like we cannot cover it in the half an hour demo session, and placement assistance that I'm going to provide, and what are the terms and conditions for joining this training. All right. So having said that, let me give a brief and let me give a brief introduction about myself. So I'm an MCA graduate and having 14 plus years of experience in IT and 12 plus years of experience in performance testing and engineering. I started my career with AppLabs Technologies. So if you know, like AppLabs is the world's first largest independent software testing company. I got chance to work on all major tools like Loaderner, JMeter, WebLoad, Silperformer till date, and I have experience on retail, healthcare, banking, and finance domains. So like my second organization was Tech Mahindra. So in Tech Mahindra, I got chance to work on like apart from the regular web and web services protocol, I got chance to work on multiple protocols like TrueClient, Java vUser, ComDecom, Oracle MCA, Oracle 2-tier, and Oracle Web Apps 11i. All right. So my third organization was Bank of America. So I got chance to work on JMeter, Jenkins, in Splunk, Intoscope, Dynatrace, WebLogic Console, OEM, AppWatch, capacity planning tests apart from the regular load and soak test, right? So I'm certified associate in JMeter, Splunk, and Dynatrace. I recently cleared my JMeter certification, and I'm working for as of now I'm working for another reputed ERP product based organization as a principal performance engineer. All right. So this is briefly about my introduction, and now let me go to let me explain why JMeter. Right. So JMeter is must have skill set because like more and more organizations are moving to open source tool. So JMeter is a must have skill set. All right. So let me briefly explain why JMeter. So as of now, JMeter is the only open source tool that can be used for performance testing and functional testing, right? And it is free of cost. So it is an open source tool with zero license cost, and it's platform independent, being developed in Java, right? And it works on any operating system, and it has record and playback feature with the drag and drop features as well, right? And it supports JMeter supports distributed load testing. Like I am going to explain like how to do that distributed load testing setup in my uh, next YouTube recording. So please like, share, subscribe to my channel. All right. And JMeter is an open source, and hence developers can customize its source code. This is right. And like it supports multiple protocols. Say for example, HTTP, FTP, SOAP, JDBC, JMS, and LDAP. Right. And it can also be used for testing database. Right. And the types of like again I have given a list of applications that can be tested with JMeter. Websites which are HTTP and HTTPS, and web services and database servers, FTP servers, LDAP servers, and mail servers such as SMTP, Simple Mail Transfer Protocol, POP3, IMAP, right? And shell scripts, yes, and TCP servers, right? So, like, so, and like as I mentioned previously, JMeter is being used by both any test engineer, whether it is a functional test engineer or or performance test engineer, right? So JMeter is the must-have tool to learn, right? And must have in the skill set to get your CV shortlisted, right? So having said that, like let me explain what are the pros and cons of JMeter. So Apache JMeter is the leading open source tool built in Java for load and performance testing. So being built in Java, it is platform independent, right? And it's not a browser, although it simulates some of the browser's behavior. And JMeter doesn't execute JavaScript, Ajax, and CSS, right? So we need some additional settings to behave like a real browser, which we'll be going to explore in the training sessions, right? And JMeter designed by Stefano Mazzocchi of Apache Software Foundation. And these are the advantages of JMeter. The first and foremost is it is open source, platform independent, being built in Java, and easy to enhance features by simply adding jar files, right? And lightweight and easy to install and upgrade, and flexibility. And coming to the disadvantages of JMeter, it has limited protocol support compared to licensed tools like Loadrunner, etc., right? And it is high in memory consumption. It is a good tool for testing web applications only, but not for desktop applications, right? And dependency on Bean Shell and Perl for complex scripting. And heap memory issue is common while running a distributed scenario on a single machine, right? And JMeter report has less features which make analysis a bit difficult, and no dedicated support team being an open source tool. So these are the few disadvantages of JMeter. All right. So no matter what, like most of the organizations are moving to open source tools. So if they want to do performance testing or functional testing for web applications, like JMeter has around 40% of the market share, uh, uh, around 40% of the market share, and it is significantly gaining market share year by year, right? So, and this is how JMeter perform load testing, right? So JMeter creates a request and sends them to the server, just like a web browser requesting a page. All right. Right? It creates the request and sends them to the server, just like web browser requesting a page, right? And receives the response from the server, collects them, and visualizes those details in a chart or a graph, as you can see here. It collects the data to calculate the statistical information, and it processes the response from the server, and it generates the test results in several formats such as text, XML, and JSON. Then the tester can analyze the data, right? So let me go to the next slide. So in this slide, like, let us quickly discuss like what are the, let's compare Loadrunner and JMeter, right? So Loadrunner is, as you know, it is a licensed software. JMeter is an open source tool. Loadrunner has a user-friendly UI, right? And JMeter lacks in UI and can't run in GUI mode for load test particularly, right? And Loadrunner supports SAP, CBL, and almost every protocol. Of course, JMeter doesn't support SAP and CBEL. And yeah, as I mentioned, Loadrunner supports almost all protocols, whereas these are the protocols supported by JMeter. And HPLM provides the performance center. Now it is called as Loadrunner Enterprise starting 2020, right? So, Loadrunner Performance Center is called as Loadrunner Enterprise, right? And yeah, Loadrunner Enterprise or Performance Center has its own benefits, right? So which we will be, which we will be discussing in another session. So, but we don't have, like this kind of feature for with coming to JMeter. And Loadrunner being open source tool, it has dedicated support team, whereas no dedicated support as JMeter is an open source tool, right? And Loadrunner provides another feature called regenerate script feature, and no regenerate script feature like JMeter doesn't have such a regenerate feature like Loadrunner, right? So these are the main differences between Loadrunner and JMeter, right? And like let us see like how to get started with JMeter on Windows. So as I mentioned, like JMeter, and as you know, like JMeter is a Java application, right? So we have to, if you want to run JMeter, if you want to use JMeter, we have to first download and install Java on our machine. All right. And we, like this is the link to download JMeter, right? And 5.3 is the latest version, as you can see here. All right. So let me, yeah. So this is the Apache JMeter website from where you can download JMeter 5.3. As you can see here, like this, it requires Java 8 plus, and download the zip file from here, Apache JMeter 5.3.zip, right? And extract the zip file and get started with JMeter Windows batch file. To launch JMeter, you can. I'll show you there are a couple of ways to launch JMeter. 3 to 4 ways to launch JMeter. I'll show you all those ways to launch all those ways to launch JMeter. All right. Right. And like I have listed down few possible issues as well when you install JMeter, right? So this is one of the error that that I encountered few days back, right? Right. And I have given screenshots as well. So this is another issue, I think, like when that I faced when launching JMeter. Find str is not recognized as an internal or external command. All right. So right, and here is the solution for this issue. If you face this issue, you have to add ipconfig.exe path in path variable to resolve this issue. All right. And if you are using a Mac, right, so this is easiest way to install JMeter on Mac OS. Just use this command do install JMeter, right? And to upgrade JMeter, you can use this command brew upgrade JMeter, right? And to upgrade home brew packages, use this command brew update, right? And to start JMeter in like in Mac, you can start it from the terminal by using this particular command. All right. And these are the commands to install JMeter with plugins. Brew install JMeter hyphen with plugins, right? And Homebrew is a package that simplifies software installation on Mac, right? And this is Loadrunner versus JMeter terminology, right? So those who are familiar with Loadrunner, like I just want to compare the LoadRunner technology and JMeter technology over here. All right. So in LoadRunner, the combination of scripts is called as a scenario, right? Whereas the same thing is called as test plan in JMeter. And in LoadRunner, the script is called also called as a group, right? So, and in JMeter, we call the same thing as thread group. Each script is called as a thread group, right? And LoadRunner's action is JMeter sampler, and LoadRunner's think time is, timer, called as timer in JMeter. And LoadRunner's randomized point is called as, synchronizing timer. So we achieve randomized, or we achieve simultaneous users using randomized function in LoadRunner, whereas we use synchronizing timer in JMeter. All right. So in LoadRunner, we keep all our data into parameter file, whereas in JMeter, we keep that all our test data into a CSV dataset config. And like these are the LoadRunner functions, important LoadRunner functions. And these are the equivalent elements of JMeter, right? So boundary extractor, regular expression extractor, JSON extractor, and XPath extractor. All right. So now let me go to the next slide. Of course, these are JMeter 5.0 core improvements. All right. So let me go to the next slide. So as we have, like LoadRunner 5. JMeter 5.3 is the latest version. So these are the core improvements of JMeter 5.3. I listed the core improvements in JMeter 5.3. There are some UX improvements. I mean to say user experience improvements, right? So Apache has added a dark graph look and feel that improves several components, and look and feel can now be updated without a restart. Previously, if you want to update, the look and feel, we have to restart JMeter, right? But now we can do without restarting JMeter. So let me show you that. Okay, so like when you install JMeter, like it comes with this dark villa. So this is the theme that it comes with, or this is the look and feel that it comes with, right? So now you can see here, like we can change the look and feel without starting, without restarting JMeter, right? So this is one user experience improvement, UX improvement that Apache has brought in with JMeter 5.3. And in the same way, like, when we disable any element, right? So when an element in tree is disabled, all its descendants are, are shown in gray color now, right? Right. Starting with JMeter 5.3, right? All its descendants are, all the child elements are shown in gray, right? And undo and redo support for editable fields. This is another important feature, useful feature, which is not available by default till now. So previously, if you want to enable undo and redo, we had to add a property to the JMeter in user.properties file. So like, but like with JMeter 5.3, this undo and redo support was added by default, right? And we can mark the currently selected language in the options menu, and mark the currently selected log level in the options menu. And there is a lot of rework done on many test elements UI, such as JUnit request, for each controller, if controller, throughput controller, while controller, right? There are a lot of user experience improvements done around these areas, right? And another important significant improvement that JMeter 5.3 has brought in is, previously, like till JMeter 5.2, the default value of HTTP client 4, right, time was, previously it was 2 seconds, and it was, we used to frequently face a connection reset, connection timeout, or connection reset errors, right? So previous versions till 5.2, but like from starting JMeter at 5.3, this default value of this HTTP client time to live has been modified to 60 seconds, right? So we'll see, like what is this all about in the training sessions, right? So this is to closely simulate the browser behavior. So this is very important, significant feature that JMeter has added in 5.3 version, right? So this means like HTTP connections will live longer than before. Previously it used to be 2 seconds, whereas as of now, like HTTP connections will stay alive for 60 seconds, right? And yeah, and it eventually impacts the connection creation and SSL handshake, right? And the another feature that it added is around I18N area. So I18N represents internationalization, right? So in this I18N, like JMeter was added Chinese translation for tools menu, right? So let me explain what is this I18N, right? So developers may be well aware of this. Developers will be definitely well aware of this I18N. So let me explain like, what is I18N briefly. All right. So I18N represents internationalization. Means suppose any application want to support foreign languages, right? All the most of the international languages, right? So developers do something, develop bundles for for each language, separate bundles for each language, right? And now that is called as internationalization, right? To make the website support different languages, countries languages. So they develop bundles, properties bundles, and they ship it along with the application. And this doing this, making an application support all languages, right? Different countries languages is called as internationalization, right? And why it is called I18N is, if you observe, like we have 18 characters between I and N. Okay, so let me show you that. Let me copy this. So there are altogether 20 characters, and between I and N, so you will be having 18 characters. All right. So now, once you type this, you can see here there are 20 characters altogether in this word, right? So, and that means there are 18 characters in between I and N. So that's why like this is termed as internationalization, right? So as part of this internationalization, Apache JMeter added Chinese translation for tools menu, right? And apart from this, there is one more, few more features that are added, like add a median field was added to the dashboard, right? And and it makes the response time percentile field support floating point numbers, right? And these are few more improvements, core improvements in JMeter 5.3. They have added a new template called functional testing test plan, right? And use gray icons for disabled elements in the tree, and disable subtree as gray or child elements in gray color, right? And like starting 5.3, JMeter 5.3 supports spaces in the expressions around functions, right? And search pop-up UI is improved a lot, right? And startup time is increased by skipping the test plan UI initialization. And the Groovy language support was updated to 3.0.3 version. All right. So these are the core improvements of JMeter 5.3 version. So I mean, like Apache recommends, always recommends to use the latest version of JMeter. So if still anyone is using older versions of JMeter, please upgrade to JMeter 5.3. You need not install uninstall older version, right? But you can like you can download 5.3 and start using it right away. All right. So like there are very important significant features, very useful features introduced from 5.3 version, from this particular version. So those who are using older versions, please upgrade to JMeter 5.3. All right. So having said that, let me show you the course contents one more time for JMeter certification. All right. So introduction to JMeter I have done. JMeter pros and cons, it's covered, right? How does JMeter perform load testing, and load runner versus JMeter, getting started with JMeter on Windows. These are all done. JMeter on Mac, yes. And like load runner versus JMeter terminology, and like 5.3 core improvements we have discussed. And yeah, So let me explain this, before closing this demo session, let me explain the proxy server setup. So, let me explain what is the concept of, proxy server in JMeter, and why do we need to set JMeter as a proxy, right? So there is a lot of difference between the way LoadRunner works and, the way JMeter works. So if we want to make JMeter capture the request and response, right, from browser to server, right, and vice versa, right? So we have to set JMeter as a proxy between your browser and server, right? So a proxy is a component which inserts between you and the remote server, you in the sense browser, right, and the remote server. So basically, we will be we set this JMeter as a proxy between your browser and server by using the same port number in recorder control panel. So let me show you, let me open one script. I will open a template and let me show you. All right. So, if you want to record a script, our script, right? So we need to, we need to use the same port number, which this HTTPS test script recorder uses. All right. And we have to use the same port number in your browser. In that way, we have to set JMeter as a proxy between your browser and server. Now, what happens is by using same port number in JMeter, recorder panel, and browser is all the traffic that is going from browser to server goes through this JMeter, right? So in that way, and the response coming from server will go through this JMeter, which we set as a proxy, right? As you can see here, once we set JMeter as a proxy, anything between the remote server and browser goes through the proxy. When JMeter acts like a proxy, it can record all your browser interactions, whether it is HTTP or HTTPS, right? So this is the reason behind, why we need to set, JMeter as a proxy between your browser and server. All right. So, these are there are a lot of slides as part of this, JMeter certification training program. All right. So which we'll be seeing in the training sessions. So, once we are done with this, all these contents, right? JMeter course contents, I'll show you, how to set a JMeter for master slave configuration, right? Or else how to do the master slave setup over here in this slide, as well as, I'll be covering JMeter integration with InfluxDB Grafana, right? And, error handle, so Groovy scripting and Bean Shell and JSR 223 elements, as well as, error handling with Bean Shell post processor and all, right? So please like, share, subscribe to my channel. So in the next demo session, I'm going to explain like master slave configuration, how we do master slave configuration in both Windows as well as Linux, right? And these are the corresponding slide decks for that. All right. So this is master slave configuration in Windows OS, and this is master slave configuration in Linux operating system. All right. And this is how, like, we can confirm that the master slave configuration is set up perfectly fine and working fine, right? So all right, so in the next demo session, I'm going to explain this. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel. All right. So we are targeting, as I mentioned previously, we are targeting JMeter certification, right? JMeter Pro certification with this training program. All right. So reach out, you can reach out on me on this number, on my number, right? So and we are starting a new batch from July 25th. All right. Please like, share, subscribe to my channel to stay tuned and stay updated with my next demo sessions. Right. And also apart from this, okay, so let me show you the course contents, the complete course contents. So these are the course contents for beginners and advanced. Okay. So these are the course contents for beginners. All right. So I'll be covering performance testing basics for 10 to 15 hours, which are important from interview perspective, as well as, like it will make your life easier, scripting life easier. All right. So, and I am going to cover like Load Runner Professional 2020 with web services TrueClient protocol, and JMeter 5.3 is the version that we are using for training and monitoring with open source tools and analysis, developer tools, Fiddler, basic SQL queries, and SQL tools like Toad, DB Visualizer, and we are going to also cover Git and GitHub as part of this course contents for beginners. So apart from that, these are the advanced concepts for those who are already working as performance test engineers. So JMeter integration with InfluxDB, Grafana, and ELK stack. So I'll be covering InfluxDB and Grafana in the beginners course, right? And I will be repeating that in advanced concepts as well, and ELK stack. So this is another thing, so Elasticsearch, Logstash, and Kibana. This is the open source toolkit, all right? So which will be prominently used with JMeter. And I'm going to cover Load Runner Enterprise, which is nothing but Performance Center previously, and Load Runner Cloud as part of these advanced concepts, and Java GC concepts, Unix Linux commands, all right? And GitHub CI/CD with Jenkins, Docker Kubernetes microservices, monitoring and analysis, Splunk with dashboard queries. So this is another, this is available as a individual course, as well as it is part of this advanced concepts training. All right. So Splunk, this is another course that we are running, Splunk training, along with dashboard queries. So we can, using Splunk queries, like we can build some dashboards. As you can see here, this is a Splunk dashboard query for baseline versus current test. All right. And APM tools like Dynatrace and AppD. So I'm going to cover Dynatrace. We have a separate trainer for AppD, and we have AWR. These are the couple of other topics that will be discussed in this advanced concepts, that will be covered in this advanced concepts, right? AWR report analysis, thread dump and heap dump analysis, and performance engineering with real-time use cases. All right. So as I mentioned, new batch starts from July 25th, and this is my Facebook group, right? So this is my FB page, right? And this is my Facebook group. All right. As you can see here, performance testing and engineering real-time training. And these are the course contents which I covered just now. All right. So please join our Facebook groups to to get continuous updates. So these are the unique features of my training plan, right? So for every 1.5 hour session daily, so I will be covering some aptitude questions for the first 10 minutes. All right. So this is to bring everyone's attention, and to accommodate latecomers as well, late joiners or any network connectivity issues and all. All right. So for the first 10 minutes, I will be spending on aptitude test, and the next 10 minutes I will be spending on as assessment on the previous day concepts. The next 1 hour, so I will be spending on theory or scripting sessions, and the last 10 minutes I will be spending for Q&A session or doubt clarification. So this would be the general breakup for daily session of 1.5 hour, right? And scripting we have simplified and made it easy to understand, even for someone from non-IT background, or those who are not having any uh, you know like uh, programming knowledge. So of course, it involves basic programming, if loops, for loops, and so on, and 3 to 4 lines of code hardly. So we made it simplified and made it easy to understand. And also, I'm covering the scripts from different companies interviews which are given in scripting tests. And this is another unique feature of my training plan. So every scripting hands-on mandatory for every participant. So every participant should work on the script and share the script to me by uploading it to GitHub. All right. So as you can see here, so previously I used, they used to, participants or trainees used to share the scripts, from last batch, like we are using GitHub to upload the scripts, so that like you will get hands-on on GitHub as well. All right. So like scripting hands-on mandatory for every participants, as you can see here. All right. And like Loadrunner and JMeter certification. So this is something which we are doing, which we started, uh, perhaps the first time in trainings, and we are start doing that JMeter certification. All my previous batch trainees, like almost 75% of my previous batch, current batch trainees are certified already. So we are going to close this, batch in 2 to 3 days. Let me show you, like I have their certificates as well. So these are the certificates, like let me show you. Yeah. So this is my current JMeter daily batch. You can see here, like most of the people, 75% of the people cleared the certification and shared with me. All right. And like with Loadrunner, I will be covering 3 protocols: web services, and true client in Loadrunner. And yeah, but regarding this certification, so JMeter certification is mandatory for everyone, right? And it is free for everyone. We can do it free of cost. So that's why we made it mandatory for every participant or every trainee. Loadrunner certification is optional because it carries some exam cost of around 15K INR. So Loadrunner certification is optional, but JMeter certification is mandatory for every participant, right? And we do give hands-on training on scripting with real-time examples and 15 plus scripts given in scripting tests of various companies interviews. So we picked scripts from different companies interviews. Like a couple of companies, like around like 20% of the companies uh, give you a script, and like do it in ask you to do it in 1 hour or so, right? So we pick such scripts, like which are mostly given in the interviews, different companies interviews, and we use 5 sample applications initially for scripting. And once we are comfortable with scripting, so we will be providing 4 real-time applications for scripting and text executions. And like to enhance soft skills, right? So every day, like every participant has to speak on a topic, on some topic, selected topic. So we call that as table topic, right? So those who are aware of Toastmasters program, that will be conducted in different organizations. So like table topic is something very interesting, and like that helps everyone to speak out in the meetings, right, before group of people. So we do that in every session. So every participant has to speak for a minute, at least a minute, on the topic, selected topic. And also, like once in a month, participants has to give some training on some performance testing concepts, or JMeter concepts, right? So this is another unique feature of my training plan. And we are using different digital platforms for training, assignments, and assessments. All right. So we have a couple of online assessments prepared from like questions picked from different companies, online tests like Accenture and CDS and all, right? So we have as well as picked up from my own interviews, or when I am taking interviews or giving interviews. So I have designed like online assessments using those questions. All right, interview questions. And we do have weekly and monthly assessments. And once done with the training, we help in resume preparation, right? And like once resume preparation is done, so we will be scheduling 5 mock interviews after the training. The first mock interview will be taken by myself, right? So these mock interviews are to assess your strength, training strengths, and scope of improvement, areas of improvement, right? And to not miss any real interview opportunity. So first mock interview I will be taking myself. So once I am okay with the mock interview, right, I will be scheduling 2 more mock interviews by guys working in service based companies, and 2 more by guys who are working for product based companies. So altogether 5 mock interviews, like you will get a real assessment whether you are ready to face the interviews or not, right? And earn while you learn. This is another unique feature of my training plan, which I will discuss once I start the session, right? So this is to support those who are in job search. So, you can earn the fees that you have paid for the training, more than that as well. All right. So I can disclose this only, once you, right, once you join the training. All right. So these are the unique features of my training plan, right? And these are the course contents, as I already explained. Please give me a second. All right. So finally, like, please like, share, subscribe to my channel. So, we am in the next demo session, I'm going to cover, like, master slave configuration in both Windows OS and Linux operating system. All right. So thanks for your time. Have a nice day. And like, this is my contact number. All right. And this is my YouTube channel, as I have shown you. Like, share, subscribe to my channel. We have interesting things lined up. And like, apart from Splunk, yes, we do provide training on right, Dynatrace APM and Unix, Linux, Git and GitHub. All right. And let me show you a couple of Jenkins and JMeter in the world of CI and CD, continuous integration and continuous development and continuous deployment. All right. And web services and web APIs. So apart from these, like, these are the like, I'll be sharing the soft copies of these all these training material to everyone, so those who joined the training. So this is for server monitoring and DB monitoring, as you can see, and this is on Agile methodology. All right. So like, so we are mostly into like performance testing and engineering training. We have recently started Python training and DevOps training as well. All right. So please join our Facebook groups to get updates. All right. So thanks again for your time. Thanks again. Thanks once again for your time. Thanks everyone. Bye.